Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome everyone to the first episode of Coaster Chats on the Coaster Couch. Today, our featured guest, is head operator Trevor Abel. Trevor, welcome to the Coaster Couch.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Great to be on the first show with you, Matt.
No problem. So, getting right into it, obviously, the audience doesn't care for the opinions of non coaster experts. Let's get your credentials out of the way. What makes you worthy of being on the Coaster Couch?
Well, during my tenure at Six Flags, some could consider me a B&M lead. I was certified for 3 out of the 4 in the park.
Well, that does it. Welcome to the couch. That's all you needed.
Oh, okay.
We love B&Ms here on the channel. So being in the presence of someone who had 3 out of the 4 B&Ms is pretty great. Obviously, I had 4 out of the 4 B&Ms, and I got the second to last cycle ever on Iron Wolf. So a little bit more experience with B&Ms, but I'm happy to welcome someone who actually was certified for B&M before I was.
That's right. And who was your lead at your B&M your second year?
I don't remember.
I think he's on this couch right here.
Yes, that is another one of Trevor's many credentials. He was a Raging Bull lead in 2013, one of my mentors.
I'm the one that pushed you to go through Plus, was I or was I not?
One of the influences. I won't say that you were necessarily the driving force.
But I told you every day
You did tell me every day.
to put your papers in, and I told you I would just give you a yes if I did your performance.
And here's how great of a person I am. I thought there's no way I could be a lead because I'm just not great enough with coasters yet. I felt that I wasn't personally ready. I need some more coaster knowledge.
And I mean, that's fair. I'll give you that, but sometimes you just gotta take the step, and it'll help get you that coaster knowledge that you need.
So going back to some of your credentials, what was the first ride you were ever certified for?
The first ride I ever was certified for was in Camp Cartoon. It was General Kitties, so Bedrock Boulder Roller, and
Was Bedrock Boulder Roller part of General Kitties? I don't think it was.
No, actually, no. I'm sorry. It
He
was,
means Rocky Road Rescue
Rescue.
Service.
Yep. Yes, my mistake.
Please don't bring up Bedrock Boulder Roller. It's a sore subject since it was removed.
Yeah, I understand why, because it was obviously a Camp Cartoon favorite for most. So,
How would you rate your training at Rocky Road Rescue Service? Your original Six Flags training?
well, I was trained by the infamous John. So,
Oh, goodness.
So
You got a thorough training.
oh yes, it was quite thorough.
No one could have prepared you better for your time at the park.
No, John was a wonderful trainer.
Yes.
Uh,
So after Bedrock Boulder Roller, or not, Rocky Road Rescue Service, where did you head next?
Sorry, guys. Don't leave nasty comments in
Yeah,
the
please,
section,
no
please.
hate, no hate zone.
No hate.
No hate on the Coaster Couch. He got a ride name wrong. We corrected it immediately. Let's move on. What was the next ride you were certified for?
The Mystery Machine.
Mystery Machine.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
lot of classics.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what its current name is? The Mystery Machine?
Nope. Nor do I care.
It's the Crazy Bus.
Wow, that sucks.
It's a pretty good name, right?
Does it still have the pot leaves on the back?
No, I think it was all painted over, unfortunately.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All of the Hanna-Barbera branding was removed, including the pot leaf at Mystery Machine.
Shame
See,
on you,
kids,
Six Flags.
We
Shame.
we really came in at the end of the glory days. After we started in 2012, every year since it's just gotten progressively worse into what it has evolved to now, which is a dump carnival.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why Six Flags doesn't pay that much taxes, because they're technically considered a carnival. So I mean, might as well.
We're just going
might
by
as
the
well go
dictionary
to-
here,
yeah,
guys.
Yeah, might as well add to that reputation of being carnival. I mean, shit.
Yeah. So after your time at the Crazy Bus, formerly known as the Mystery Machine, where did you head next?
I believe my next certification was at the Little Dipper.
Another classic.
Oh yeah. Gotta love the brakes on Little Dipper,
So,
especially in the rain.
yes, Little Dipper in the Rain was a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's been reprogrammed a little bit recently, within the past couple years, but back when we worked at 2012, it was definitely a little bit finicky.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely janky. Only Six Flags could take a ride that ran off a lever perfectly with no downtime for 60 years and then bring it
Caused
to the park.
downtimes.
And hours of downtime daily, so many issues.
Right? It was always the lift too.
Yeah, the weirdest stuff.
Right? Like
Terrible
go
Six
figure.
Flags.
Go
But
figure.
obviously, I have some background on your time at Six Flags. Eventually, in 2012, you made your way to become a slave at the Flumes, like so many of us. How was your time at the Flumes?
It was awful. I mean, it pushed me to the brink of just walking off one day, like going on lunch and not coming back because
Me as well.
I hated the Flumes so much. I mean, it's just it's something I feel like inmates could be doing because like it's that.
Seriously, I mean,
it,
no one in their life has ever experienced true boredom until you're forced to work at that ride.
and do a whole OC at
yes,
the Flumes.
12 hours at the Flumes.
Of just watching running water, standing on a janky ass platform.
You definitely
where
start to re-question your decisions.
Oh, absolutely. Where you take one step and it's just like you have no idea if you're gonna fall through or not. Like that's the Flumes.
Extremely dangerous. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how it passes inspections every year. They must know someone.
Oh, they've
there.
got people on the inside.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why they don't pay for Hanna-Barbera anymore. They got to pay to keep that shithole running.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it out, build a.
Duct tape is expensive, and they sure use a lot of it.
It is. They should just remove it and actually put a nice B&M there.
Although, wouldn't you consider the Flumes to be a treasure at Great America?
Yeah, but leave the water element incorporated into the new B&M.
Well, as park
similar
president,
to Diamondback,
you can rest assured the Flumes won't be fine. They will be completely transformed to run 35 boats again, like in the glory days. Both chutes running, fully restored fiberglass, new paint, everything.
So basically, you're gonna tear it down and rebuild it.
Exactly. I'm going to dig up Ron Toomer and ask him to rebuild it.
Why don't you just move it?
No, we've already decided that Great America, in its current state, is going to be the legacy park, and we're going to have Elon dig a tunnel to Greater America, Better America, Greatest America, one of those, and that will be where we put all the new rides.
Where will that be located?
I cannot disclose that because someone will try to bid over me on the land.
Understand.
It's very cheap right now.
Understand.
Anyway, so we've covered, you worked at the Flumes, site controller. Oh, no, we haven't covered site controller. I do have a fellow site controller on the couch, another credential for Trevor. He actually was a site controller before I was.
Yeah, it was 2014. I was certified for Daredevil Dive. It was a good time,
How would you describe the typical Daredevil Dive crew member?
Oh, they are weird ones when you say that.
See, guys, anyone you talk to that's worked at Great America, they know the Daredevil Dive crew was strange.
Yeah, they were always odd ones. I mean, there was a few cool cats in the bunch, but there were definitely some odd ones, and
very strange.
we won't get into a specific one that.
Yeah, we won't get into any specifics.
Yeah, we won't get into any specifics, but if you know, you know.
Anyway, so fellow site controller on the couch, inspections master, I've heard. Is that correct?
I mean, I never got a safety on paperwork. Never missed any initials, so.
I call that an expert.
Some can call me that. I personally just thought I was being thorough and doing my job, but some look at it as that expertise. I mean.
So, I don't know if we've gone over this yet, but one of your credentials during your tenure at Great America was being head operator of Vertical Velocity. Can you just give us a little insight into what being head operator was like?
Head operator, it was just pretty much being in that position every day. Pretty much all day, every day, you know.
Can
Um,
only trust yourself. I get it.
oh, absolutely, with a ride that dangerous, you're going from 0 to 70 very
Hold
quickly.
on. Let's pause right there. Just to disclaimer, all rides at Great America are dangerous, not just V2.
Oh, absolutely, but V2 has a little bit added danger to it just
A
because
little
you
bit
have
more
the
danger.
people in the chutes waiting in the station.
Have to trust that the maintenance guys with missing teeth are properly tightening all the bolts.
Oh, absolutely, and that the light curtains are working. That's one thing we should have to test every morning on AMs, but it's not. Go figure.
As park president, all operators will have all access to all maintenance, key switches, and functions to perform incredible testing. Rigorous every morning.
Because the testing of the light curtains every morning at V2 was just going up to them and making sure you saw the light flash when you moved. I mean, there's no way
Do we really know that it works?
No.
Do we really know? No, we'd have to
No.
test it.
So, but they
Every hour
but
on
they'd
the
get
hour.
they'd get mad if you needed a restart. So what could you do? You just
It'll
did-
be a point of entertainment at my park. Vertical velocity will not be open to guests. However, every hour on the hour, we will send it around, set off a light curtain so everyone can get to enjoy that sound as well as the sound of it restarting. What do you think of that idea?
Matt, what does it sound like again?
I can't.
You should add a clip in there, like of the.
Why don't you give us your best impression?
No, it's been a while. I don't really remember.
It's
it.
pretty tough sound to duplicate.
It is. It's unique for sure.
Moving on past head operator, obviously your time at Six Flags did come to an end at some point. Can you give us a little bit of information? What happened? Why are you no longer at Six Flags?
Well, came to an abrupt end. I can say that for sure.
If I'm inferring you were fired.
Yeah, I was, but
Another member on the coaster couch who has been fired. Let's hear about it. What did they do to you?
well, long story short, I was messing around at the main panel of Batman when I was on the phone with a fellow lead of mine. I pushed the acknowledge button several times and it caused a trouble light. And I tried to cover it up, and my team member told on me. That's pretty much it.
And just a little more story on this team member. Definitely a hated person on the couch.
Oh, absolutely.
Shortly after Trevor was terminated, because this was in 2014. And I, for the record, do not think his termination was just. I think he should have been given a second chance. I think there was some behind-the-scenes dislikement that led to his demise.
Oh, absolutely.
Some jealousy.
We won't get into names because they're still around, and we don't want to cause any bad blood. So.
Yeah, they already have their life tough enough. They're working at Six Flags.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But anyway, let's proceed.
But so that team member, after Trevor was fired, that's when I was the lead at Goliath. He got sent to me, and his big thing was that he would sing, and he started Eastward Crawler. He'd sing there, and
He'd always get freaking compliments too.
It's not even that it was
crazy.
good. It's just losers like, oh my goodness, this guy is singing. Let's go leave a compliment. So he got like 2 compliments out of the 20,000 people that hated it, that heard it and were annoyed by it. So he got sent to me to come sing at Goliath, which was the worst. I always told him, safety is our top priority. I can't have you singing because we need to hear those spiels. No singing over the spiels, sorry.
Did he stop singing?
I believe so. But then one day, I remember, so at Great America, if someone had their phone out, you didn't stop the ride. You were just supposed to yell at them over the microphone. And so someone pulled their phone out, Goliath, we'll bleep it out, was at operator. And I said, hey, someone has their phone out on the lift. And he's like, what? What? I'm like, someone has their phone out on the lift. And he freaks out. He's like, oh, my God. And he slams the lift stop. And I'm like, bro, you love the microphone. You love singing. How can you not know our policies and procedures. I thought you were this godsend of a team member that was sent to me. But it turns out you're terribly slow, terrible singer, super annoying, and you don't even know our policies. So then obviously I had to bite the bullet and climb the lift. Because I was a lead, so that was allowed. Leads were allowed to climb the lift. So I'm like, well, I guess I will take this opportunity of this mess up. I will climb the lift and then run right back down.
Talk about a false front. Management totally just moved him there because he got guest compliments.
Yep, yep. That was the good thing about.
Oh, and correct me if I'm wrong. Did he or did he not brag that he was the reason I got fired?
I believe that actually is true. He was the tattletale. Any reasonable person who realized they were working at a carnival is not too serious. I don't need to tell on my lead. I can just pretend like I didn't see anything.
But didn't he brag to fellow?
I think he bragged to
team
fellow
members?
team members. He definitely had to get a public lashing on the platform by me after that one.
Yeah, I believe I recall you telling me about that.
Definitely a public lashing.
Good. He deserved it.
So back away from this team member, you were fired for pushing the acknowledge button, caused a trouble light, and you lied about it, so they fired you, which obviously was kind of bullshit. People lie there all the time. You're kind of paid to lie.
Absolutely. You are paid to lie.
You're paid to forge documents. Maybe not so much anymore. I can't speak on current times, but based off my experience, there was plenty of forging of documents
Absolutely.
on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Like with Batman, especially with the special effects, like if I numbered everything, I'd run out of room. Like there was times where people would, like my supervisor told me to stop writing things up because it was never going to be fixed.
Get
they
this.
told me, quote unquote.
As a lead, it was your job to inspect rides and to mark on the inspection sheets what was wrong. But if you marked everything that was wrong, they would get upset with you for marking everything that was wrong because everyone else who does an inspection doesn't do a thorough inspection, and they say nothing's wrong.
You get in trouble for doing a good job.
So basically, you have to say everything is great with the ride every day, because if you say that stuff is wrong, they will get upset, because then when it goes to court, they're like, well, this one person said all this stuff was wrong, but every single other person that you pay $9 an hour to inspect these rides says that everything was perfect. What's up with that?
It's crazy. I mean, that's why, they want the scapegoat, Six Flags, so that way if shit happens, like down in Texas,
Exactly. Blame it on the operator, not our training.
Absolutely.
So you,
you remember that year I got fired, and then I went to the op awards with you, and there was ride night.
Oh,
there
my
was
God.
ride night afterward.
I remember that.
And I was approached by who was
a person.
Who was it? I think it was it.
It was the person.
It was the person that we shall not name. It's just like in Harry Potter, everyone knows who it is. It's part of the reason Six Flags is shit. But anyhow, I was approached by the person who shall not be named, and was told it would be best if I did not attend Ride Night, because, correct me if I'm wrong, on the invitation it said the invite was for a +1 and they did not have to be Six Flags employee.
Correct. So, little backstory. They do a little award ceremony where they get up on the stage in Wilderness Theater and they hand out pieces of paper. And
you get a plaque if you've been there 25 years.
Something like that.
If you have no life, or you just do it for the fun of it, like a good guy we know.
Yes. So he comes to this event. I don't know who. Were you my guest?
Yes,
Trevor was my guest.
I was your guest, yes.
So Trevor was my guest, just my friend. Nothing to do with a Six Flags employee. I'm just bringing my friend. And they told my guest, my friend, he could not come. He got into the ceremony, but then he was told he could not come to the ride night.
And then check this out. They told all the supervisors who were on duty that evening, if they saw me, to call the person who shall not be named, and they would address me themselves.
Oh, my God. I totally forgot that happened. Yeah, because we had friends that were supervisors.
Yeah,
we
had the intel.
The intel, people deep on the inside. If you see Trevor at the park, let us know. We'll send him to jail. This is serious. this is serious. He could be trying to mess with our rides. He has deep working knowledge of how a dispatch panel works.
Yeah, crazy times.
So just shows you history of pettiness and no fun at Six Flags.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as that person came around,
Poor
I knew-
Trevor got
Mhm.
fired from the park, just wanted to ride a couple coasters, and he was denied as my guest.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I forgot that I've been stirring the
I just
pot
wanted
for
my
that long.
I just wanted my churro and to ride a ride, but what can I do?
I just felt that as the Goliath lead, I was untouchable. I could bring Trevor if I wanted, because he was my friend.
Oh, and the worst part about it was having to wait for everyone because we had plans afterward.
Yeah, we had plans.
That was fun. Anyhow, let's move past the dark times at the Six Flags.
Well, pretty much all times were dark times.
No, that is true. That is true.
So, Trevor, you might not know this, but as an operator for X-Flight, I don't know if you remember the mushroom buttons on the dispatch.
Yes,
Do
I
you remember
do.
those? How comfortable they were?
Oh,
Incredible.
absolutely.
Made operating so great. Did you know that they were removed and just replaced with the standard button with no cover? Tiny little button.
Why?
Because Six
Why
Flags
Six
didn't want to
Flags?
spend the $4.98 to buy a replacement from a distributor.
Not surprised.
I mean, come on.
We're talking about a company that
Come
didn't
on.
want to spend the few extra $1 million to make X-Flight like
Stop.
a little
So-
bit longer, right?
Six Flags totally got what they had deserved with their huge crash, and it wasn't just because of the coronavirus. It was because of their
It was
China
due.
deal.
It was
due.
due.
Their China deal fell through, and Six Flags
That-
totally gets what they deserve.
Yeah, that
for-
was just they were just asking for it to begin with that deal. So I
So,
mean, they asked for it.
They're worried about building licensed parks overseas in these random countries. Meanwhile, their American parks, the
Are
backbone
shitholes.
of the brand, are shitholes, and they can't even spend
There's no
$4.98 on new mushroom buds for the operators.
Yeah, there's no theming in these parks. There's no creativity anymore.
No
They're
shade.
putting in fucking carnival rides now. What's the point? Like, just call yourself a carnival. Like, you're not an amusement park anymore. Like,
Six
days
Flags
of
Carnivals
putting in,
Incorporated.
like, what happened to the days of putting in the likes of Raging Bull, Batman, Iron Wolf? Like, what happened to those days?
Record-breaking, innovative, long rides.
Instead, now we got X-Flight, which, I mean, it's cool and all, but, I mean, it's too short.
And the theming don't work.
The theming is shit. Like, if
And
you
it's
look
in a
in
tent.
the original video, it was
Temporary
supposed to fly
tent.
through an actual hangar. Instead, they get this little facade that's fucking supposed to look like a hangar.
All that
It's
gravel.
pathetic. I mean, the tower is cool. They put the theming there, but the rest of it is just fucking dull as hell. But
So, Trevor, speaking of X-Flight, get this. So the little thing that spins on top of the tower.
yeah, I guess it doesn't work. I'd imagine.
No,
right?
it works again now, but it's just a ceiling fan motor. They could have gone to Menards and bought a new one for $50-$60 maybe. But no, let's just leave it non-functional for an entire season.
Oh god, that's
I
too
mean,
funny.
Come on. Raise the prices if you can't afford to maintain your rides. That should be the
Well, they
last
have
thing
to
that they're
cater
skimping.
to the everyone.
They don't have to cater to everyone. People in
I
Lake
mean, look at
Forest,
Cedar Fairs. They charge $90+ for their season pass,
and they should.
And I agree,
It's
they
a better
should.
product.
But yeah,
Although-
Six Flags, it just seems like they keep lowering and lowering and lowering the cost to get more people in. But in turn, what's it doing? Revenue is probably not increased. Attendance has increased, but not revenue. So therefore, your lines are still flat from years past.
Just terrible.
terrible business.
But
decisions.
speaking of Cedar Fair, you actually were a subject of a previous coaster chat, a coaster fireside chat.
yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your injury on Steel Vengeance?
Yeah, so RMC is notorious for having kind of shit designs for their trains and kind of
For everything.
Well, yeah, everything. But they had Velcro holding on these side cushions for in the train. One of them had they were held on with
Plastic
these,
plugs.
Plastic plugs. Actually, my mistake. Velcro. I was thinking of Goliath.
The Velcro was so bad that the seats would go flying off every day.
Yep. But anyhow, they had these plastic plugs, and it was kind of coming out. I didn't notice it, and then about halfway through the ride, my arm got cut by one of those stupid things.
How would you rate the experience of trying to report that injury?
Oh, it made me question my dedication to Cedar Fair and supporting them because I mean, it was I words can't even describe.
How about when that
How
female
disappointed
ride
I
operator
was.
came up and gave us attitude?
Oh, that was absolutely ridiculous.
We were in the wrong that Trevor got hurt
Yeah,
on the
I
ride.
was in the wrong.
He
and
was in the
that
wrong.
I basically shouldn't even be waiting.
How dare you report this injury? You should
They
just
basically
deal with
said
it.
it was a waste of time that
yeah,
I was
we were,
waiting.
we
here.
were wasting their time. Meanwhile, they were dispatching trains every 8 minutes with 3 trains on.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was going to Cedar Point to be wowed by operations, and instead I left disgusted.
As did I. Like I said, it made me question my commitment to supporting those parks.
Terrible.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Do you remember we just took the sheet and left anyway?
Yes, I still have the evidence, although I think it was burned.
Yeah, I believe
It was burned, along with Cedar Point shirts, and I just have no interest in going back. I want to go to Kings Island, obviously, because I love B&M Gigas, but my last experience at Kings Island was just as bad as it was at Cedar Point. Terrible operations at every ride.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you on that. But there's no denying that they got a great collection of rides there.
They do have a great collection
They
of rides.
got the Beast. That's like the best wooden coaster. So, by far.
Debatable. I
Eh,
think American Eagle is better.
I disagree.
Okay,
but
well,
everyone has their
everyone has their opinion. Some
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
certified for 4 B&M. Some people are certified for 3. Some people think the Beast is better. People think American Eagle Red is
Yeah, some of
one of the greatest rides on planet
as
Earth.
well. So.
if it was only cared for. It was a little smoother.
But like
the
everything else,
only-
Six Flags fashion, it's falling apart.
The only redeeming quality that Cedar Fair has for me these days is that their vests do not lock on their B&Ms like
Yes, I
X-Flight.
do enjoy that.
How terrible of an experience that the vest lock
Yeah,
on
imagine
X-Flight.
getting stuck on that. Like that shit's probably like
People had legit panic attacks, and I totally got it. It was the worst.
I mean, I felt bad for some of the people too because they were legit like having panic
Legit
attacks.
pain and suffering. It was a violation of the Constitution because it was both cruel and unusual. Think about it. It's 100 degrees. You're sitting on the X-Flight brake run. Every breath you take, the restraint gets tighter, and you're told that there's no time estimation on when they're going to get off.
I know. I almost released the vest on a few people because I felt
You've
so
got
bad.
Or else they're going to die.
Yeah, I know.
It's legitimate safety concern. You can't expand your chest.
Nope.
So thank you, Cedar Fair, for keeping your guests comfortable.
And thinking of them.
Yes. But I think that's all we have to talk about for the Coaster Chat on the Coaster Couch, the first episode, featuring guest star Trevor Abel, head operator V2.
And like I said, it was a pleasure to be here today. I look forward to coming back again soon. Let me just say this. If you have any questions for Matt or myself that you'd like to see on the Coaster Couch with myself or featured guests, please leave it in the comment section below.
Yeah, let us know what you think of the Coaster Couch. More content coming from the Coaster Couch. Obviously, more panel content coming soon. I know that that's the big ticket item everyone wants. But you just got to be in a mood. Sometimes I just want to chit-chat on the Coaster Couch about a variety of topics, and that's what we did today. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.